guys, this is Andrew with Scientific Ketogenics, and today we're going to be making Neapolitan fat bomb ice cream. Super delicious. So yeah, here's your ingredients. We got sour cream, cream cheese, coconut oil, and a cube of butter. That's going to be for the base of the ice cream, and then over here is the flavoring. So we got cocoa powder, strawberry essence or strawberry extract, vanilla extract, Truvia, and some strawberries. Now don't worry about the carbs because we're only going to use 2 or 3. So there's your ingredients. So we're going to start off with our sour cream. You're going to take a half a cup of that and throw it into a food processor. I'm using a little blender here, which was a terrible idea, so don't do that. Also, we're going to use some butter. Take a half a stick of that, which is a half a cup. Toss that in the mix. Now you're going to take 1/2 of a cup of cream cheese. Also add that to the food processor, not a blender like I did, like an idiot. A food processor, make sure you use that because your life will be much easier. Take 1 teaspoon of vanilla and just go ahead and toss that in as well. Now once you've got those 3 ingredients in there, kind of blend it up. As you can see, it sucks because I'm not using a food processor because again, I didn't have one and this blender was a terrible idea. Once that stuff's kind of decently mixed up, take a half a cup of coconut oil and add it bits at a time while the blender's running. That way it'll, incorporate a lot easier and not just be a big glob of oil that'll chunk up. Here I'm adding 3 tablespoons of Truvia because I forgot to do that before I blended everything together. So now I gotta struggle a bit longer and re-blend it all with the Truvia. So go ahead and throw this in before you mix everything together. Once you have the mixture blended up nice and smooth, go ahead and split it up into 3 separate parts. I'm putting it into 3 different bowls, but if I were you, I'd put it into 2 bowls and leave the 3rd part in the blender itself because you're eventually just gonna have to put one of those right back in. But as you know, I like to make my life hard. Now go ahead and take about 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I put a bit less because I don't like too much cocoa flavor in mine. But yeah, go ahead and put that in there, mix it up, and make sure you don't spill it everywhere like I did. And go ahead and clean that mess up. And then continue mixing it until you have a nice creamy, chocolatey, delicious layer, and that you're going to pour back out into the bowl. It should look a little something like this. Now go ahead and take your chocolate and put it into a cupcake mold or a big tray, doesn't really matter. I'm doing individual servings here. That pan I had in the freezer for about 10 minutes before I poured the chocolate in. And then, yeah, once you fill them up, put it back in the freezer. Now we're going to make the vanilla layer, so go ahead and scoop out another 1/3 servings of the cream base. And take 1 teaspoon of vanilla, drop that right in, and mix that in, and you'll have your vanilla layer. Now, also, one thing I forgot to mention, put a couple shakes of electrolyte salt in the original cream base. I forgot to do that, just like I forgot to do a lot of other things during this recipe. But you know what? That's my mistake, not yours. So now do the same thing you did with the chocolate layer, just evenly spread out a spoonful per tray, and yeah, plop that back in the freezer, and then we'll move on to the strawberry layer. Now take the remaining cream base that you have left and add 2 to 3 strawberries in there. I'm using 3 smaller ones, but 2 large ones will be fine. This will add a nice pink color to the mix in the end. And yeah, it does have a tiny bit of carbs, but it's negligible for serving size of each one. You'll probably be getting 0.2, 0.3 carbs more per serving. So yeah, toss that in, and then also you're going to want to use strawberry essence or strawberry extract. You can find this down the baking aisle of most stores where the vanilla is located as well. And when you measure this out, you're going to want to do 1/4 teaspoon. Now don't get crazy with this stuff because it's very potent, so measure pretty precisely when you're using the strawberry essence. Now just like the other 2 mixes, you're going to want to put it in the blender, mix it up. Puree it till you see decent chunks of strawberry. You can make it chunkier or you can make it less chunky depending on your preference. I like to get a pretty good puree going, but still some visible strawberry in there as well. Now I can't stress enough how much a food processor is going to speed this up and make it a lot better. This blender is just terrible, and it's everywhere. Again, terrible. Once you're done washing your hands off and scraping out the strawberry from the blender, go ahead and take the strawberry puree and just pour it over the top of your other 2 layers, which should be decently solid. Once you're done doing that, shake them down, make them all nice and flat, and put it in the freezer. They should take 30 minutes or so to freeze up to be a nice consistency, and I usually leave mine in the freezer. So here's the final product. You can see the 3 layers. They're not too even. I didn't spend too much time making them even, but man, is it delicious. As always, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe if you want. Also, drop a comment if you have any questions or suggestions. Right on your screen, I've got the recipe taken straight from the book. You can either pause the video or you can go buy it. I left a link right in the video description here to where you can buy the book. It's on Amazon. You can pick it up. It's less than $20. It's so worth it. It's got a ton of different recipes and a ton of different information about the ketogenic diet and how to implement that into your life. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.